Hey, you. Yeah, you. What should I review next? What would you like to see from the axe slinger, eh? What do you think?
Hey YouTube, today on the Axe Slinger Gear Reviews we check out the MXR Distortion Plus. Hey, welcome back to the Axe Slinger. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. This is the channel for everything shred. Alright, on today's episode, we go ahead on gear reviews and check out this. It's by MXR. It is the Distortion Plus. So it comes in this box right here that I'll show you. Okay. This pedal originally came out in the 70s, and it was used as probably one of the first type of real driven distortion pedals, and I'm a huge fan of Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads used this pedal, so I wanted to check it out. Inside of the box, you're going to get two of these. So these are the covers that go on the knobs. The purpose of these, in case anybody's wondering, they've seen these on pedals and you're like, why the heck is it on there? These are apparently for if they're on your pedal board and you need to adjust the level or output of the pedal, you can easily do that with your foot. It'll just grip onto your sneaker or whatever. I don't like these though. I think these are terrible. I think it takes away from the look of the pedal. So I just go ahead and chuck them in the box. Okay, you also get some information from Dunlop in here. I've yet to put on these rubber feet. I'll be putting those on, and you get a quick guide that kind of tells you what this pedal is all about. So, if you take a look at this pedal, okay, first off, you'll notice you can't miss it because it's got this Ferrari yellow kind of going on here. I call it mustard yellow. And you've got two options. You got your output and you got your distortion, okay? This is the most straightforward pedal I've ever used. You got an input and you got an output, okay? You can also put a battery on the inside, 12-volt battery, and right there's your input for running a power supply. So the next thing you'll notice with this thing is it is built like a tank. Like if I was to chuck this at your head, you'd feel like a friggin' brick was like boink. It's heavy. Like I don't know the exact weight of this thing. It is the heaviest pedal I have. Okay, like if I was to compare this thing, for instance, to the Hex Drive. Now the Hex Drive is solid, but it feels hollow compared to the MXR Distortion Plus. Okay, even if we compare it to the Pepper's Dirty Tree, this thing feels like it weighs nothing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a listen to this. I'm going to have you guys listen to some different tones with it. It's going to be a pretty short review because this pedal, in my opinion, it kind of bridges the distortion fuzz. So the other thing is the circuitry of these things. They're not as sensitive. From 0 to about 50% is not much output. This thing was designed to push an already dirty channel over the edge. So if you listen to Blizzard of Oz, you know, you listen to this stuff from Randy Rhoads that he put out, or any lead guitar player out of the 70s, late 70s, you'll hear that they used this pedal mainly on solos. It really gave it an umph. And in the mix, you'd hear the mids and treble just boost. So, okay, enough of my talking. Let's go ahead and let's see what this thing's all about with some tone. Okay, so the Distortion Plus is going through my Marshall 410H into a 5153 EVH 212 cabinet. I'm running a Boss NS2 noise suppressor and an MXR 10-band EQ. On the EQ, I'm boosting the bass and mids a little bit and cutting out a little bit of the shrilly treb. And I'm on the clean channel on the JVM. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check out this pedal. Here's the tone without it on. Here's with it on. I've got the output at full and distortion. Actually, the output's at about 80%. We're gonna start with the distortion at 20. Okay, here's the sound. So you hear right off the bat, it's kind of fuzzy. It's not going to give you modern tones. I'm a huge fan of the old school metal, so for me, this distortion pedal is great. It's actually really good too if you want to, stack it with another pedal. So if you've got, let's say you've got a Dirty Peppers pedal running, or you've got a hex drive, and you're about to hit a solo and you want to break through the mix, the Distortion Plus will give you that little fuzzy, higher, trebly sound that you're going to need to nail the solo. So I want to show you what I mean, though, by the output being extremely sensitive until you get to past half. So this is the output with 50%, and the distortion still left at 20. All you're going to hear is my strings flapping. Okay, so I'm going to hit the chord. Now we're going to go from 50 and we're going to slowly rotate it. Okay, so now we're at about 70. Extremely sensitive after that 50-60% mark. And then where it really starts to get magic is once you get to about 80%. So I always run this thing at about 80-85% output. Now, if you want to get into some more higher gainy stuff, let's see what this thing does at 50% distortion. Let's go ahead and crank this thing up to 70%. This thing's going to give you that wicked Blizzard of Oz tone. So if we go ahead and crank the distortion at 100%, this is what we get. You can nail the Iron Maiden tones really good. Let's go ahead and put output at 100 and distortion at 100. Let's put this thing balls to the wall, baby. So I'll go ahead and do some lead tones with this thing, just so you can kind of get an idea. We'll start first on the bridge pickup, then we'll go over to the neck. This thing's going to give you that kind of fuzzy sound with the soloing. I love it. This thing is great. Like, this is a staple for me. It's my new favorite pedal for soloing. So it sounds really good, even with some octave kind of what I call rhythm, with some reed and rhythm. On the neck. So yeah, that's the Distortion Plus on the clean. Let's see what this thing sounds like with a little bit more of a driven sound. So I'm going to switch to the crunch channel, and let's see what this thing sounds like in front of a crunch. Pull back the distortion a bit since it's already running hot as it is. Here's without it. With it on. Let's run a little bit more hotter. See that it sounds like it's going to blow the amp up. So, I mean, it depends. Some people like putting it on an overdriven sound. I personally like it on a clean. It sounds a lot more natural to me. Yeah, that was the Distortion Plus. Hope you like it. I love this pedal. I think it's killer. So yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. Share this with all your pals. And I got some really exciting things coming down the pipeline here from the Axe Slinger. So, all right, everybody, stay safe. Everybody in Canada, happy May long weekend. Cheers, everybody.